Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Cody here, and today I'm bringing you the lineups for some DraftKings lineups for the PGA 700K Drive the Green Champ. This contest starts tomorrow in about 12 hours. It starts at 11:20 Central and 12:20 p.m. at Eastern Time. It only costs $3 as an entry fee, and I think the first prize, the first prize gets 100 grand. I think the second prize gets 50 grand. So let me get started with my lineups. The first one is my go-to one. It has two really strong people, as well does the second one, but I'm pretty sure the first one will score higher. But let me just show you and see what y'all think. Alright, so my first one, it starts off with Jason Day. Jason Day has a 69.1 average, 10 top 10s, and 16 of the last 18 cuts made. That's what really made me pick him, and also by 10 fantasy experts, he was picked by 4 to actually win this competition tomorrow. And he also averages 93 fantasy points per game. His salary is actually kind of high at 12,600. That's why the rest of the people, except for one, I'm pretty sure, is a lower average salary to make up for this high one. Because I'm pretty sure this is a good pick. So the next person is James Hahn. Alright, James Hahn, he averages 70.7. He has 2 top 10s, which is not the best. It could be better. He has 18 of the last 27 cuts were made, which is about a 66%, which is alright. It's not the best, but it's still better than most of the people I actually seen on there. He averages 56.6 fantasy points per game, which is not the best as well, but he should be a good contender for tomorrow. And his his salary is actually kind of low at 6,700. But like I said, I had to make up for the Jason Day one and the Johnson in. All right, so the next one is Russell Henley. Alright, Russell Henley, he averages 70.5. He has 4 top 10s, which is, like I said, not the best, but I picked him mainly because he's made 18 of the last 22 cuts. His fantasy points per game average is 66.4, and his salary is actually kind of low as well at 7,005. Alright, moving on to Zach Johnson. He was the next highest one that I picked. He is actually picked by, out of the top 10 fantasy experts, he actually scored 7 out of the 10 people actually picked him to be on their team. So this is why. Zach Johnson, he averages 69.8. He has 10 top 10s and made 18 of the last 23 cuts. His fantasy points per game is 70.8. And his salary is 9,500, which is not as high as Jason Day, which, like I said, he is a good contender for tomorrow and the few days coming, and he should be good to finish hopefully top 3 or at least top 5. Alright, the next one is Bryce Mulder. Alright, Bryce averages 70.1, 2 top 10s, and 18 of the last 24 cuts made, which is a 75% cut made ratio, which is really good, actually. He averages 60.1 fantasy points per game, and the salary is low as well at a 6,800 to make up for the remaining salary that I have. Alright, the last person is Sean Stefani. Alright, Sean averages 70.1. He has 3 top 10s and made 20 of the last 25 cuts with an 80% cut made at. He averages 66 fantasy points per game, and his salary is low as well at 6,900. Alright, moving on to my next lineup. Get this one out real fast. Okay, my first person I picked was Jason Bone. I picked Jason because he averages 69.6, which is one of the lower ones for a lower salary person. He has 6 top 10s and made 20 of the last 26 cuts and averages 66.4 fantasy points. And a lot higher cut ratio made, and like I said, a lower salary. My next person is Zach Johnson, which I'm not going to show you his stats because you've already seen him. My first roster. So I'll move on to Ryan Palmer. Five top 10s and 16 of the last 20 cuts made with an 80%. And a 65 fantasy points per game average, and a lower salary, at 7,300. Moving on to Pat Perez. Pat Perez averages 70.3, which is a higher average per game than some of the people on here. He has 2 top 10s, which is not the best. 21 out of the 25 last cuts made, which is a little over a 80 average, and fantasy points per game is 68.3, which is not, but it will make up for some of the lower people or the higher people. It'll all add together. He has a lower salary. Moving on to Henrik. I picked Henrik because out of the 10 fantasy pros that picked some lineups, he was a top. He got picked by 9 out. So that's why I picked. Henrik averages 69.8, 7 top 10s, and because he made 14 in the last 14. And also he has a fantasy point per game average of 80, which is really high. But his salary is kind of high at 11,400, which I needed some 4-bet players to make up for his high salary. So, all right, moving on to my last person, Jimmy Walker. Jimmy Walker averages 70.3, which is close to 70, which is all right. 6 top 10s, made 19 the last 22 cuts, which is, and a 7,400 for some of the higher ones, like I said. Okay, so that wraps up my 2 lineups. This is a well-rounded one, and I'm pretty sure if you add all these fantasy points per game up, I'm pretty sure either this one or my other one, it either comes out to 440 or 420 or 340 or 320. I can't remember. Sorry for not adding this up right off. But yeah, this one is either higher than the other one by 20 points, or the other one's higher than the other one by 20 points. So it shouldn't matter. They should both score really well. Alright, so this one, like I said, started out with Jason Bone. Goes on to Zach Johnson, Ryan Palmer, Pat Perez, Henrik Stenson, and Jimmy Walker. And sorry about that one. Let me go over the first one real fast. It's Jason Day, James Hahn, Russell Henley, Zach Johnson, Bryce Mulder, and Sean Stefan. And let me give you a last look at the second. Like I said, this is my second lineup. It doesn't mean that it's bad. Like I said, these are 20 points off from each other, so they could go either way, really. I think these are the best well-rounded lineups, and if you wanted to, you can definitely switch them to however you wanted to. It's however you want to. It's your lineups. But if you wanted to use both of them, like I said, I made 2 of them for a reason, because it was only a $3 entry. I think some people could make some money off this. I think I can make some money off this. So hopefully I can win you some money. Hopefully we come back and look. But just to let you know, this is not a guaranteed win every week. I'm going to be doing this every week. Since football has started, I'll be doing a lineup for football every week, maybe 2 or 3. But like I said, it's not a guaranteed win. You spend your money at your own risk. But we will have fun if you want to stay tuned and subscribe. We will have fun every week. So if you want to, like I said, subscribe, like the video, and just let me know how I'm doing. If you want to leave a comment or something, ask me some questions. I'll try to get back to all of them. So thanks for watching, everybody. Like I said, this does start at 11:20 tomorrow Central Time. So if you want to get in on this, you need to enter your lineups before then. But thanks for watching, everybody.